This is not total drama, and neither is this. Today, I'm gonna show you the forgotten twin projects that helped Total Drama take over the world, including the first ever Total Drama character ever designed. Number 1. Habbo. For starters, this is Todd Kaufman, one of Total Drama's lead designers, but in 2005, he wasn't yet working with Total Drama. Instead, he was working on another project called Habbo.
Sorry, didn't see the cappuccino.
Now, the financial support for this series came from a Finnish company named Sulaka. Sulaka owned a game called Habbo Hotel, a pixel art world where players used to create avatars, trade items, and decorate rooms. Since the game was growing, they decided to make a show to boost its publicity. So, in April 2005, they invited various studios from around the world to create a series of 15 3-minute Habbosodes. These Habbosodes would have eventually been released as a DVD compilation.
Hey, you girls want to go for a spin in my shorts? Short ride in my sports car.
And hopefully become so popular that they will lead to the demand for a full TV series. Yet, fortune didn't favor this show. Even though Todd and his team created, designed, boarded, casted, animated, directed, and produced the Habbo short clips, the game company Sulaka didn't even credit them for the show. So, just like that, the entire dream of Habbo was gone. Although most of the episodes were lost over the years, the promotional image, some footage, and the first episode are still available for us to see. But even as a flop, this project wasn't a total failure. You see, Kaufman actually released the promo for Habbo for the world to see. Among the audience, there were also the creators of an odd show named 16. They liked the designs, so they hired Todd and his team for their new upcoming show, Camp TV. As a request, they told him to use the Habbo designs as jumping off points for the new characters. Without skipping a beat, Todd gets to work, and then voila! The first ever Camp TV character design, which means that this is also the first ever Total Drama character design. The creators were thrilled with Todd's work, but before making things official, Fresh TV had one more, let's say, shady request from Todd. We'll talk more about it a bit later in the video, because now it's time for number 2. Monstro City High. A few years after the failure of Habbo, our boy Todd Kaufman became the main director and character designer of a heavy hitter named Total Drama. But during the same time, he also worked on a personal project called Monstro City High, a world where both humans and monsters go to high school together. But unlike his past project, this time, Todd, alongside his late partner Mark Thornton, tried a completely different approach. In general, a production company first creates a series and then starts to promote it to the audience, but they decided to do the opposite. Shortly after the idea was official, they sketched the main character, Crush, and presented him during an event called Shady Character. 3 days after Shady Characters, they hired a master sculptor named Eric Noshella Diaz to design the first ever Monstro City vinyl toy. 1 month after the vinyl toy, they released 500 limited edition vinyl figurines. According to an interview from 18 years ago, they released the figurines first in the hope that this will bring popularity to the show and make it a hit from the first moments of release. But after all that marketing, it also came the time for actual animation production.
What the? Principal Barry is your dad?
Principal Cannon is your mom? Looks like we've got something in common after all.
An unsightly amount of back hair?
That. And our parents are both principals?
So for 6 months, Todd and Mark received Cartoon Network's full support to design the other characters and create some promotional videos.
Dang! I never knew you monster girls were so monster-licious.
During the creation process, they even got the support of another big name like, well, let's see if you can recognize the voice.
If you're looking to sink your monster teeth into something sweet, why don't you eat this? It's a gingerbread cheerleader that looks like my girlfriend Cherry. Go ahead, enjoy.
It's Christian Potenza, Chris's voice actor. But unfortunately for Monstro City High, Cartoon Network's support completely ended after those 6 months. So on February 15th, 2010, the creators from Neptune Studios, aka Todd and Mark, had to play their last card. Asked for a lot of funding from the fans. A strategy we already saw working with the latest Reality Resort episodes. Yet, Monstro City didn't have the same luck. The donations weren't enough to fund the season, yet we still have access to the character designs, object designs, backgrounds, some of the sketches, and even the theme song lyrics, which, if you ask me, sounds very much like the Total Drama's theme song, especially because of its rhythm. Now, in the old interview that I've mentioned earlier, the creators of Monstro City also said that they got the idea from another project, a show also heavily connected to the Total Drama universe. Number 3. Clone High. In this show, historic figures like Abraham Lincoln, Cleopatra, and JFK are cloned and put in high school where they face daily teenage drama. Now remember, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that Fresh TV had a shady request when they asked Todd to design Total Drama. Apparently, they told him to literally rip off the design from Clone High and use it for Total Drama. But you see, this was a complicated deal. Todd actually worked with the creators of Clone High in the past. It wasn't just about creative ethics, it was his personal honor in the game. So, was he really capable of doing that? See for yourself. Similar island? Check. The same trees and backgrounds? Check. God girl with red hair? Check. Handsome guy with multi-dimensional forehead? Check. Total Drama was on fire with all that inspiration. Even the humor was similar to what we saw in Total Drama Island 2007. Now, unfortunately for Clone High, the series was cancelled just after 1 season. Why? 2 words. Mahatma Gandhi. In the show, Gandhi's clone was portrayed as hyperactive, goofy, and attention-seeking.
Joan, I haven't gotten a single high five since I've been in here. Could you give me a few under the table? Everyone else is getting them.
So the massive hate from the religious groups combined with the mediocre ratings led to its cancellation back in 2003. But although the show's popularity was low during its first year release, it gradually grew more and more over the years. So much so that in February 2021, HBO Max officially revived the series and asked for 2 brand new seasons. The first was released in May 2023, followed by the second in July 2024. But guess what? After just 2 seasons, Clone High was cancelled again. Apparently, too much focus on relationships, too little focus on historical roots, and the total absence of Gandhi made the fans lose interest. So due to bad ratings, the creators had to stop the production. Now, this story about Total Drama's inspiration from Clone High will become quite funny when compared to the next part. Number 4. Total Drama Reunion. In 2018, due to lack of demand, Fresh TV decided to switch the audience from teens eager to see drama to kids eager to see dumb jokes. That's when a small channel called Blue Studios saw a gap in the market and decided to fill it with their own project, Total Drama Reunion, a fan series in which the OG contestants are all grown-ups and united in a legal process against Chris McLean. Yet in a turn of events, Chris tricks them into signing up for a new season. Now, guess who was very upset about the fact that someone copied their work? Exactly, Fresh TV. So they pressed charges against Blue Productions and they had to take down the episode. Naturally, the fans got upset. Some even threatened Christian Potenza and other members of the staff. Yet the harm was already done. Total Drama Reunion was over. Or was it? You see, 2 years ago, Blue released another teaser. Total Drama Reunion was coming back with a second episode meant to bring closure to the storyline. But what seemed to be a new hope now revealed to be a false promise. It's been 2 years and we still didn't get the promised episode. If you want to know more about how the original Reunion season was supposed to look, click on this video.